Everyone, today we're gonna make some flatbread. Really simple, nothing too complicated. So what we're gonna need is some yeast, actually active dry yeast, 2 spoons. That's like one quarter ounce of yeast, bread flour, some salt, some olive oil, some honey, brown sugar, some yogurt, 3 cups of water. So I already put the yeast, 1/4 ounce of yeast, dry yeast, 3 cups of water. This is not cold water, this is not hot water, it's medium, just a little bit warm, not too hot, not hot at all, just a little bit warm, more than room temperature. Now we're gonna mix it up. So we mix it until it becomes really liquidy and we don't see little pieces of yeast, and that's all absorbed in the water. Now we're gonna put 1 spoon of yogurt, just a little bit, not too much. And we're gonna mix these guys together. And so we don't see those chunks of yogurt, everything becomes one. Now we're gonna add some honey, just regular honey, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're gonna add some brown sugar, just a little bit. So not even half a spoon. And we're gonna mix these guys together. We'll just mix it until we don't see honey at the bottom, and everything goes along together really good. Alright, that looks good. So we're gonna cover it. And we're gonna leave it for 10 minutes. So see you guys in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we have it, right here. You can see, the yeast start to waking up. You can smell it. All right, now we're gonna use just a little line of olive oil, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna mix it up together. There you go, just a little bit to mix up the oil. Alright, I don't really have a flour Swiffer thing, but this works just fine. For the recipe, we're gonna need 6 cups of flour, bread flour. I mean, you can use unbleached flour. That will do some good results too. But so 6 cups of flour. We're gonna start with 4 because that's how much it goes in here. Pass it through. I think doing it this way makes the flour breathe a little bit, get some air. I don't know, I just get better results this way than just pour it directly. And you know, it goes through pretty quickly. It's not a big thing. Alright, 2 more. Two more cups. Swivel it. Alright, just move it just a little bit. And then we're gonna put some salt. I'm using some ionized sea salt. I mean, you can use regular salt. I just like this one. This is what I have. This one I'm gonna use. So just a little bit. Mix it up. I don't like to mix salt at the beginning with the yeast. I think yeast and salt don't go together if they go in contact together right away. So I like to separate them. So I like to put the yeast, flour, then salt. I have a little bit of water in here. This, if you mix your hand, if you wet your hand a little bit, actually the flour and the dough shouldn't stick too much to your hand. So if you keep your hands nice and wet a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and then mix it up. Start mixing everything up. A little slow. I mean, this is gonna be a sticky dough at the beginning. But this is the only time we're gonna be touching this dough with our hands. Well, to prepare it. We're gonna touch it later, of course, but it's not gonna be messy. Trust me, this is the only messy part for your hand. Mix it up. If you follow the recipe, you don't have to be adding more or adding more flour, even though you might get like some bad impressions. Don't just follow the recipe. Don't follow your instinct to try to fix it up right away, because it's still interaction with each other, you know, the flour and the water. So I would just follow the recipe. This is a decent recipe. I mean, you can make it more watery if you want, or less watery, but just know, once you know your recipe, what works for you, just follow that. And you know, I mean, depending on the flour too, sometimes some flour can absorb more water, other flour absorb less. So yeah, once you know what kind of flour you're using, adapt to that, and just you know, follow the recipe you got. So basically, I'm not really doing a serious kneading. I'm just lifting it up on the bottom and folding it on itself, just making sure there's no flour just sitting in a corner. You know, I don't want to be cooking just raw flour. So we just mix it up on the bottom up. And almost done here. I can see my cameraman getting a little tired in there. So almost done in here. Alright, so Couple more folds, bottom up. Like I said, this is a sticky kind of flour, but this is good. This is good. Bottom up. Alright. Okay. So there you go. It's not like a bowl or anything right now. This is just to mix things up, and we're gonna cover it. Give it actually extra cover rather than just having a little just having the little thing over here of cloth. And I'm gonna go make some coffee, and then we'll be back in an hour. See you in an hour. All right, so we're back for our flatbread bread dough. It's been 1 hour. Yep, 1 hour. So take the cover off. There you go. Dough reacted really well with the yeast. I have a spatula. I usually keep it in a little bit of water, keep it nice and smooth, nothing sticks. And then I start with the edges and fold it on itself. Try to keep the air bubbles in place, so try not to move or rip into the dough and let the air escape. So we try to cover it and let that air stay. So just fold the dough in itself. You can see the air bubbles. Try to keep those because we're gonna need them to make nice and fluffy bread. Alright, a couple more, just fold it on itself. That's it. Cover it, and we get back to it in 45 minutes. Alright, see you guys in a little bit. Alright, it's been 30 minutes. Let's check on the dough for our flatbread. Boom, voila. Puffed up again. So we're gonna do the same thing we did the first time. Lift it up from the edges. Try not to ruin those air bubbles. Really slowly, just fold it in from the bottom, and then fold it on the top, real slow. There you go. Fold it up one more time. And you see the bread changed. Is that the dough doesn't feel the same way it felt at the beginning, right? It is still, watery a little bit, but it's not really watery, but it's not sticking as much. Alright, take care of that. And that's it. Cover it and seal it. Boom. Alright, it's been 30 minutes. This is our dough, nice and puffed up. Alright, so this is different step. So we're just gonna take the dough out, fold it on itself, making sure without ruining all the nice air bubbles that we got. And you know, the yeast was working really hard to make all that gas in here. So, you know, and you can smell that yeasty kind of yogurt smell. It's good. I like it. You just gotta keep it nice. Try not to get all the air escape. So just fold it on itself. Fold the bread on itself. Really good. There you go. More times. Alright. Last time. There you go. Alright, good. So we're gonna, over here I got some semolina. This gives it like a nice texture on the outside and it doesn't stick. So there you go, got it everywhere. Get the spatula, get everything out. Real slow. It's coming out. Can you guys see in here? Sure. Real slow. Without ruining all those air bubbles. There you go, got it out. Alright, so because if we touch it, it's gonna be really sticky. I'll just cover it a little bit. Some more semolina in here. And wipe it all over. So you don't get it in the crevices. And let's see, like as soon as you touch it without that semolina, it's gonna be really, really sticky. So let's just make sure you cover it real good. Try not to irritate the dough. There you go, all nice. Stretch it out a little bit. Making sure that air bubbles are nice and stay inside. Alright, I had some other leftover dough. I put it in here. I just put like a pan. Yeah, I'll just get rid of this. Okay, and then you can cut it. Alright, so I just have a little cutter in here. 1, 2, 3. There you go. There's one more. There you go. Alright. That's what I'm gonna put you. There you go. Alright. Okay, let's stretch each other. See a really sticky guy. Alright. So there you go. Just make sure you nicely cover it with semolina. It doesn't stick to your hands. And then just press it. That's it. Real slow. Don't try to stress it too much. We don't want to stress the dough. Because we get nice fluffy bread. With a lot of bubbles everywhere. Alright. You can actually make pizza with this. You can just just press the inside a little more. Just make a little wet edge to it. And you can just throw it in the oven. And put some tomato sauce, some olive oil, cook it a little bit, and then when you see the bread cooked a little bit, then put the mozzarella, because the mozzarella doesn't have to burn, just put it towards the end. There you go. All right, got our first flatbread in there. Again, just cover it with dough. And actually, my mother, for some reason, thinks bread need to have a circle shape all the time. I'm like, who says who? I like flatbread in multiple shapes. Makes it more interesting. So I make rectangular ones, diamond ones, heart-shaped ones, circular ones, octagon ones. It doesn't really matter. You can make it any shape you want. Alright. I actually have a hand. So once we finish, we have the pan full. Let's cover it up because it doesn't dry. Get another pan. And again, semolina again. Like this, the dough doesn't stick to it. Very good. Alright, I'll finish this. And then just press it, try, like I've seen some people try to use the roller and just stress the heck out of this bread, this dough. I don't like that. I like to just, treat it nice, keep it fluffy, keep it light, and then you get like a nice fluffy bread later. There you go. See, you can see all those bubbles still stuck in there. I'm just gonna keep them right there. Like I said, this is really good. This is really good dough for pizzas too. Pizzas. And, I'm gonna make a scratchata too. You can make it with this dough. It works. But it is really sticky kind of dough, so you gotta make sure you got your hands covered with semolina. Alright, almost done. I usually just prepare them already like right away, but to the shape I want it. But actually we're gonna once we finish over here, we're gonna give it a nice 20 minutes, 15 minutes, let it calm down a little bit, and then we're gonna cook it. So I'll see you guys in 10-15 minutes. Alright, now time to do the flatbread cooking. So I got a Tefal pan. I also have a iron, just an iron pan too, but this one cooks a little bit faster. This one you have to pay attention with the heat. It heats up a little too quickly and then you're gonna end up burning a lot of bread. So this one is pretty warm right now. This one's still warming up. So we're gonna start with this guy. So the heat always halfway. Don't put it too high. Keep the heat halfway. And we're gonna start. So slowly pick up the bread, drop it, just slowly push in, just little pops where the bread the air can escape, real slowly. There you go. Alright, don't burn yourself. There you go. Always a wooden spatula. You don't want to be scratching your pan. And then you can see at the bottom here, right here, if you come a little closer, you can see right there the dough is changing shape. Right there inside you can see there is two you start making a little different right there at the bottom. So, and you also can tell by the bubbles, they start rising. And give it it's just within a couple minutes should be ready. We're gonna start flipping it. And like I said, you can see the bubbles coming up. Also at the bottom, you can see it change. You can like take a quick peek. I mean, also you can start feeling it as soon as you touch it. You can feel it, you know, start making change in color. It just looks good. And like I said, this is not really a pita bread. It's not really a, you know, it is just like a different kind of flat bread. I mean, I'll use it for breakfast, for sandwiches. It has a lot of uses, and I like it better. I like the texture better, way better than the flat type of regular pita bread. So flip it, boom. There you go. And then just make sure you hit it a little bit like this. When you flip it, some of the bubbles will stop puffing and will rise just on one side. So I try to make sure that the bread stays even all over the pan. So same thing, give it a couple minutes. Should be ready. Okay, while that guy is going, I feel this guy is ready too. He's calling like, dude, I need some bread too. Alright, so really slowly, if you put enough semolina, or you can even use regular flour, it shouldn't stick to anything. And same thing, just press it down a little bit. No. Let it do its thing. Heat always half, even less for this guy, because this guy kind of absorbs heat a little different. We're gonna go back to this guy, see where we at. Yeah, it's heating up really good. Make sure we get all the pieces. And this bread, actually, the good thing about it is, with, you know, like I said, six cups of flour, you can make a good dozen, and you can make it, let it settle, let it cool down, and then put it in you know, Ziploc bags, and you can put it in the fridge, and you're all good for the whole week. You know, you can make sandwiches, you can have it for breakfast, you can make a lot of things with this bread. You can make it like a pocket bread, and it's really light, homemade, with not a lot of work. So it's getting a little brown, so I'm just gonna let it just sit on the edge for a little bit. And I see the other guy is rising too. Give it a few seconds. I'm gonna do the same thing the other side. I mean, I'm touching this, but it is hot, so be careful, don't burn yourself. Same thing. Like I said, you can put this in the fridge and then take it out. Just put it at medium heat in a toaster. Should be all good. Here you go, we're all set. I'm just gonna put it in a. Actually, I'm using my pizza pan, because it has like holes, so let it breathe. So I just let it here, let it sit and relax, and you know, until it cools down. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Check it over here. What we got? And let's take a look. Oh, it's still not brown yet. We'll need a little bit more. So I'm gonna put a little bit more heat on this guy. And this one, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna just throw this in the garbage. And just like this, we don't have burned semolina every time. So, right there. Let's try another one. There you go. You're gonna just pick it up really slow. Put it down, press it down, Give it a couple minutes. Let's check this guy out. I mean, this is a really fast bread to make. And the process of waiting for it to rise might take, you know, 3 hours, but the actual process of making the bread is not that long. So right now we're gonna flip this guy. There you go. Boom. Give it a couple minutes. And then make sure you don't walk away, because this is a really, like I said, really fast-paced kind of things. And if you walk away, you're gonna have burnt bread. Like I said, you see, watch the bubbles come up. You see the edge at the bottom change. And keep the fire low. You don't want it too high. A couple more minutes. Let's check this guy out. It's coming along. Alright guys, I'm gonna finish this up and I'll see you when we're done. Alright, this one I just wanted to show you. I made it extra wide and extra big, and I spread it all over the pan. But this one looks like it's gonna become a pizza. All I gotta do is just, you know, once it's done in both sides, I'm gonna take a side and just put some mozzarella cheese, put some olive oil, and maybe put it in the toaster, low heat for a little bit, and we got yourself a white pizza. Alright, some of the flatbread here is done. I usually sweep it a little bit from all the semolina, like this, it doesn't crumble everywhere. But here's our bread. Here we can open it up. Here, take a look. All the bubbles inside. Nice and fluffy, really light. All the bubbles inside, and it smells great. It's nice and fresh, nice and light. Let's taste it. It tastes good. There you go. Flat bread, all done. Might need this one, like this you don't have semolina all over your hand, all over the floor. But you can make sandwiches. You can have it with Nutella. You can have it with jelly, with butter, anything you want. There you go. Like I told you, one of them I made extra flat. This one I'm gonna actually make a little pizza, and all you gotta do, all you need, olive oil, some fresh mozzarella cheese, you know, the one like a bowl, nice and fluffy and fresh. You can use the other one, but this one gets better results. Oregano, I already cut the mozzarella, but first I'm gonna start with the olive oil, just on top like that. And then we just put the mozzarella. I already preheated the toaster oven for 350. I don't know, it's been on for, you know, less than a minute. But we're just gonna keep it light, not too hot, because we don't want to burn the mozzarella. The bread I just made is still fresh, so it doesn't need to cook from the bottom. So I set up the toaster to be at broil, so only the top part is on. Alright, time to put it in the toaster. I'll see you when I get it out. Like I told you, little pizza, here you go, already cheese melted. Get a cheese cutter, and let's call it a pizza. There you go. Alright. There you go, got your little pizza. You could have just put some tomato sauce, but if you wanted tomato sauce, I would put the tomato sauce first, let it cook a little bit with the tomato sauce, then put the cheese afterward. You don't want to burn the cheese. But there you go, got little pizza from your flatbread. Enjoy.